So we're going to talk today about anything that you want to talk about. But the message that we want to wedge in the crack between all of the things that you're wanting to know about is how you can deliberately, effectively, consistently offer vibrational frequencies that resonate with the whole of who you are. We want to talk about the momentum that law of attraction provides. Law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn, which means whatever you're focused upon in any moment in time has a frequency. There's a vibration that is emitting from you. And law of attraction is bringing other things like that to you. So when you focus upon something for as little as 17 seconds, when you cross, we're not kidding you at all, that 17-second mark, another vibration that matches that first one joins it, and momentum begins. Hold it for another 17 seconds, more momentum. Another 17 seconds, more momentum. And when you cross that 68-second mark, there's enough vibrational momentum happening within you that now, if you're sensitive and alert, you can acknowledge, you can witness the evidence of that momentum. Momentum is an easy thing for you to understand. So you've got your car, you're perched at the top of the hill in San Francisco. You can see the bay down there. If you've been there, it's really exciting the first time you've driven there. So there your car is perched on the top of the hill. You have it in neutral, and your parking brake isn't on. And you think, just for fun, you'd like to see how powerful you are, so you just nudge it from behind just a little bit. And it begins to roll a little bit. Then it begins to just nudge over the hill a little bit, and you realize the potential of what you have done. So before the momentum really gets underway, you step out right in front of your car, and you let it bump up against you, and all is well. But can you imagine what it would be like if you were at the bottom of the hill wanting to stop that momentum? In other words, you get momentum. And we want you to understand that law of attraction is at the basis of all momentum. Because when you offer a frequency, law of attraction will bring another to match it. And it doesn't take much before momentum really gets going. So through life, you've been launching these rockets, and you've created a vortexual version of who you are. Oh, the momentum of that is nearly unspeakable. The momentum of all of the cooperative components that have been gathered vibrationally. Now, you want to call it future manifestation. You want to call it potential. We want to call it nowness. We want to call it isness, because we stand in that vibrational beingness. That vibrational beingness that you've expanded or evolved to. And so, as you are consciously aware of that expansion, we know, our human friends, you don't want to hear about that virtual reality, that vibrational reality, that vortexual reality. You want to sleep with it now. We know. You want the money in the bank. You want to see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it, lick it. We know you do. You want the experience of it. You want the tactile experience, that sensual experience of it manifesting. We know you do. And we want that for you too. But if just for a little while you could acknowledge the existence of this vibrational version, and then you could decide that you're going to find a vibrational frequency that matches it, then you're off and running about deliberately creating your own life experience. We're going to tell you briefly that this creative process is 3 steps. The first step is ask, and you can't stop doing that. The contrast causes you to ask all day, every day. So you're asking, recovering for your sound, asking. And in that asking, you are doing step 1 again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Law of attraction and your inner being, that which man wants to call God, that which is source energy, is there with what you've asked for, experiencing that highest frequency that you have discovered, the frequency of love and appreciation, the frequency of expansion. So here is this vortex version of you. So step 1, step 2 happened without you even really knowing that it happened. It was just a consequence of being focused out here on the leading edge of creation. But step 3 is really the step that we want you to focus upon all day, every day. That's the allowing part. That's the you becoming vibrationally resonant with what you've put into your vortex. And that's the part that's a little tricky for you, because it's not easy for you to be standing where you're standing in the absence of something that you want and be a vibrational match to the presence of it. And the reason for that is because you've become so enamored with physicality that you sort of want to see it and then believe it. And we want you to believe it so that you can see it. We want you to understand that when you are able to feel yourself by caring about how you feel to the resonance of what you've put into the vortex, that when you practice that for a little while until you know it, until you own it, until you are it, that then this wonderful thing happens. What's in your vortex begins to reveal itself to you. You begin to realize it. Thoughts begin to occur to you. Impulses begin to occur to you. Your timing is good. You rendezvous with people, places, things, events. All kinds of things start happening. There's a synchronicity, a cooperation. Now, the cooperation has already been there, but in your caring about how you feel and reaching for the highest resonance of who you are, you become a cooperative component too. And when that happens, the manifestation becomes obvious for you and everyone around you to see. Until then, you got to be happy with feeling it before you see it. And we know that's a big step, because there are a lot of things that you can look at that make you feel really good. And there are a lot of things that you can look at that cause you to not feel so good. So we're asking 2 things of you. We're asking you to be more selective in what you look at, but we're going to be light about that, because we know about momentum. And we know when you got a momentum going that doesn't feel that good, and some freaky non-physical ghost says to you, you create your own reality, you know. And you should ought to kind of try to find a thought that feels better. You just want to punch our lights out, because there's a momentum that often, always holds you where you are. Our favorite story to help you let yourselves off the hook relative to this subject is, sometimes what you say to us sounds just like this. Abraham, I've fallen out of an airplane and I don't have a parachute. Do you have any suggestions for me? And we say, just one. Hang on, it'll be over in a little bit. Because it's hard to reverse that kind of momentum. And so sometimes there's a momentum going. Something happened, you focused on it, you talked to somebody else about it, you got that momentum going, you crossed the 68-second mark about 1,000 times in the last 1,000 minutes or so. In other words, you've got the momentum going, and then you say, oh wait, I'm supposed to think positive thoughts so that I can feel more positive. And then you say, just kill me now, because really, there's not much you can do about it. And so what we're wanting to help you to realize is that you have much better control over your momentum in the early stages of it than you do in the later stages of it. Once law of attraction gets hold of it, you sort of have to crash and burn a little before you can come up for air. And the best way to sort of cleanse that palate is a good night's sleep, or even some sleep. Because when you slumber, your point of attraction stops. You're not actively attracting to you while you are asleep. It's the most wonderful thing that you pre-paved when you decided to come here. I'll give myself an opportunity to stop the momentum of unwanted thoughts. So that means when you put yourself in your bed at night, you can say, oh good, the momentum will stop in a little bit here. And in the morning, I'm going to get it going just the way I want it to. So we've been describing to you, and you've been following along so well, that we have some analogies here for you today that are going to make it very easy for you to figure out what to do as you're moving through your day, different aspects of your day, under different vibrational conditions. We want you to realize that while you have created this vortex version of you, this vibrational version of you, that it is a reality that until it manifests, you're not that excited about calling it a reality. But we are, and you don't need to worry about it. It exists even in your ignorance of it. So if we can convince you that it exists, if you can just sort of take that on conceptual faith, you haven't proven it to yourself yet, but you understand the laws of the universe. The laws have shown themselves to you in enough ways that this is logical to you. If we can convince you that there is this vibrational version, then the only thing that you are wanting to be aware of is what is your right now, because of what you're thinking and speaking, because of what you're saying, whether you're remembering it from the past or focusing on it in the present or anticipating it into the future, whatever you're doing with your mind right now is causing you to choose some relationship with some vibrational versions that you've set into motion. So we began describing to you that while this vortex is there, and we said to you, get in the vortex, become a vibrational match with your vortex. Now we are saying to you the same thing in a little bit different way. Understand what your point of attraction is, which is the same thing as saying, understand what the vibrational frequency is that you're offering, which is the same thing as pay attention to how you feel right now. Because your emotions are letting you know the vibrational relationship that you have with this furthermost expanded version of you. So we want you to get the mental picture that there is a vibrational version that you've set into motion, and that as you stand in your now, depending upon what you're speaking about or feeling about or thinking about, you are establishing a relationship with this vortex version. But we also want you to know that when you're in a bad mood, you're launching a vortex version too. When you are in fear, you're launching a vortex version. When you're in joy, you're launching a vortex version. Now, the only vortex version that is being tended by us is that high frequency, that high flying, pure positive energy vortex version. That's where we reside, in a place of non-resistance. So when you launch one of those rockets, and we recognize it as that new expansion of you, we achieve the vibrational frequency with it, and we maintain. And it's important for you to know this. We maintain, we're talking about source energy, we're talking about your inner being, we're talking about all who love you, maintain that high frequency that you have achieved through the life that you have carved out. And it's like shining that frequency so that you will know it when you feel it. And, equally important, you will know it when you're not feeling it. In other words, you will know by the way you feel your vibrational relationship with that vortex version of you. We also want you to understand that when you first start out your day, well, anytime really, but mostly when you first start out your day, it's like you get to choose which disc you get on. In other words, it's all spinning and law of attraction's gathering it up from wherever you are. And if you had an argument with someone last night and you're repeating it in your mind this morning and you're defending, you're justifying, you know that you were right and you know that they are wrong and you're irritated that they are stubborn and you're all geared up really wanting to find a way to express to them with greater clarity what you know so that you can finally convince them of the rightness of what you are offering about, you get a pretty good vortex going there, and that's the vortex that you've chosen. And even though you've asked for all kinds of things up here, you don't have access to them. But you know what? You do have access to all kinds of things that feel like this. Haven't you noticed that when you're ornery, everybody within a 12-mile radius who is ornery jumps on your disc with you? In fact, people who have never been ornery before become ornery just for you. If they even have slight ornery tendencies, you're going to rendezvous with them, you see. Jerry used to talk about when he first met us, he was so excited about deliberate creation and so much wanting to help make the world a better place. And he thought he had the perfect plan. He said, Abraham, I think there should be islands of incarceration in our judicial system. And all the murderers will go to one island and do it to each other. And all the rapers will go to another island and do it to each other. And the thieves will go to another island and just take things back and forth from each other. And we said, you already have those islands. And no one in the audience that day he asked that question liked our answer, because they don't want the perpetrator to be on the same island with the victim. But we say, you are vibrationally choosing your points of attraction. And law of attraction is matching you up